Okay, thank you. Today is our day 3 boot camp, and may I greet you all at good morning. Feel welcomed, and you stay focused with what we are going to discuss today. So today is our day 3 of the boot camp. We are going to discuss the CSS just the way we said previously, and I hope you really enjoyed the last session, and you make something like you make a practice out of what we discussed last time. Okay, so I am your ambassador Jack Ferraro, and today we are going to have my professional instructor, that is Wycliffe Mboya, who is going to take you through the CSS. So just stay focused, and you ensure that you do the practice after this class. Immediately after this class, spare your 15 minutes for the practice, whatever is going to be taught here. So we are building CSS today, and previous class we were building HTML. We were getting the syntax of this HTML, and today is an amazing day for us that we are going to introduce ourselves in the CSS.
Boys.
Okay, now feel welcomed, and Wycliffe, you can proceed.
Hello, Jack.
You can take over. You introduce yourself.
Hello, Jack. Hello, everyone. Today is our day 3 of our bootcamp. My name is Wycliffe Mboya. I'll be taking you through CSS. CSS is a styling language which is used to style the web page. CSS means cascade styling sheet. Yeah, especially if you look at a web page, you can't visit it in terms of div. As we learned for our last bootcamp, we are talking about the basic HTML syntax and all those. Today we are going to talk about CSS, how we can lay out our web page to come up with the appealing result. Now, as you can see the slide there, full stack web development. Okay, you can see the logo there. Let's take them to the next slide. Yeah, that one is my profile there. Full stack web developer with 2 years of experience and a passionate tech lover and taking computer science as a course. Yeah, I'm a computer science student taking a course here in Maseno University. Yeah, you can take the next slide there as we go on. Yes, now you can see what we are going to talk about today. We are going to talk about the basic of CSS. We are going to talk about CSS selectors, positioning. We are going to talk about the box model. We are going to talk about specificity, media queries, best practices. Now, best practices, you will really like this part. Here we will adapt some of the best practices which will give us the best responsive web pages. Flexbox, we are going to talk about grid layout. We are going to talk about pseudo-elements, pseudo-classes, animations, transitions, and responsiveness. Yes, responsiveness, which means our website should be responsive in all screen, whether in your phone or your laptop or in a smaller screen. Yes, so let's take them to the next slide. Hope you will enjoy it. Hello, Jack. Okay, so we are just
Hello.
going to, yes.
Okay, Wycliffe, just a little bit. I can see is when people are still joining. So Wiki today, CSS it will be somehow different a little bit, because today Wiki is going to take us through CSS using the VS Code. So last time we were using the Replit to do our HTML, and due to the I received some of the complaints. Now we will be building our CSS using the VS Code. Yeah. So in case you are Wiki, you can just start up everything. You can create for us how you landed into that folder. You can just show us. Yeah. Before
Okay,
before
so let me open my, no, this is my VS Code. Let me close it for now. Now I have a folder here which I've named Day 3 CSS Bootcamp. Inside this folder, I have two folders which I've named assets and pages. This folder named asset, this is where I will organize my images, the styles, and maybe I have a folder where I'll be putting my videos, at least icons here. I have one icon, some icons here. You can see them there. Inside this folder named images, I have about 3 images here. Now, inside this folder called styles, this is where we will be storing our CSS styles. There is a subfolder here named CSS. This is where we will be storing our CSS files. Now, in the videos folder, hope you can get me well. In the videos folder, I have a video here, one video there, which I've named Monkey. You can see it. Yes. Now, that is the general layout of our folder. Now, the folder is named Bootcamp, and personally, mine here is saved here in the desktop. You can save it anywhere within your computer, but make sure you are able to trace it. Now, I want to open this folder with the Visual Studio Code. Today, we are going to use Visual Studio Code to edit our documents. Now, we just go to the go and double click on Visual Studio Code to open it. Now my Visual Studio Code is starting up. Now to open that folder, go to File, go to the option called Open Folder. Now you will be directed to where the folder is stored. Personally, you have to search through your computer where you have saved yours. Me, mine is saved here in the desktop. And you can see it. I click on it, then I click on Select Folder to open the folder. Now, for those who are using Visual Studio Code for the first time, you have to familiarize with the interface first. First of all, you can have a look at the interface for Visual Studio Code. Here to the left, here I have my folder there, and by expanding there, I can see inside this folder there's a folder called Asset, and there's a folder called Pages. This folder called Pages, as I told you, is where we'll be storing our pages. This folder called Asset has some subfolders called Icons. You can see there my icons are there. You can see there my images there. You can see I have a folder called Styles with a subfolder called CSS. You see. Now this is where I'll be storing my CSS files. Now, leaving on that, now we are going to start our bootcamp of the day by starting with the basic of HTML. Now I'm going to go to the pages. Pages here is where we are going to store our pages. To create a file, you hover there, you can see the icon there suggesting create new file. Here you hover there, create new folder within that folder. But now, personally, we are going to create a file. Let me click there on create a file. I'm going to create a file named basics, because we are going to start with basics as we go on to selectors, all those. Let me start with basics. As you all know, we name it with an extension of HTML. It is an HTML file, say basics.html. Basics.html. Then you press on enter. You can see now the file is opened in Visual Studio Code. You can see I have my basic.html file there. Now you can generate, there you have the syntax of HTML page. You can see we have got a title there, which I'll name basics. Now, inside this HTML page, we have the body of our file. This is the body where we'll be writing our HTML tags as we did in our last bootcamp. Now, today we are going to learn about CSS specifically. Now, as you know, CSS is a program language which is used to style the layout of a web page. CSS stands for Custom Styling Sheet, and it is used to style the layout of a web page. Now, to the basics of HTML, we are going to learn how can we write our CSS. Basics of CSS, how can we write our CSS within our HTML files. Now I'm going to have a simple tag here, which is div. Yeah, with the text there, hello world. Now this is a simple div. I guess in our last bootcamp we learned how we can generate that hello world. Now to open this and do it in the browser, uh, person using it for the first time, you have to go to the browser there, go and go to the directory where the file is saved. You can see there and double click it, and it will open it in your default browser. Okay, my default browser here is, as you can see, it has opened in my default browser. You can see the text there, hello world. Now, personally, I have an extension here for Visual Studio Code, which is called Live Server. It will enable us to, yeah, we'll be able to see the changes as we edit our document. So personally, I'll right click here and open my folder here, open with Live Server. As you can see, the Live Server is now running. Let me minimize it so we can see all of these at the same time. I want to ensure that we see the changes as we edit them. You can see I have my Live Server there. We just started. Yeah, my live server with the text hello world. Though the font is too small, some of you may not be able to see it, but we'll be working on that. Now to the basic of HTML, or basic of CSS, I'm going to tell you how we can write our CSS within our HTML file. First of all, we are going to use internal. There are three ways. There's one which is called internal CSS, link CSS, and okay, we have the inline CSS, actual CSS, which is enclosed within the style. You have the separate CSS file. That's why I had that folder there, which was named CSS. You can see it here, styles, with a subfolder called CSS. Now the basics of CSS, using the inline method to write CSS in our HTML, say just say they use the word style. Style is equal to, and following there, you write your CSS commands. Yeah, let me introduce you to one which is called background color to be, yeah, let me use blue. And to be
Uh,
able to,
just a minute, Wiki.
yes,
Excuse. Someone is saying that you can just try to
zoom
to
there.
zoom your browser. Yeah, the browser for the browser.
Okay, I'm working on that. Let me write that one first. Background color, background. Use the word background color to blue. I'm supposed to zoom here so you can see. Let me correct that small hair there. Yeah, let me correct it first. With the text there, hello world. Now I was talking about the styling icon. Hello there. I guess you are able to see me, to hear me well. Let me ensure that I zoom it here so all of you can see it. I've refreshed that page. That's why there's that error. Let me open again with the live server.
Uh, Excuse.
You can see now.
Yes, Wiki.
Okay.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Let me
Yeah,
introduce you
maybe
to
you can.
actual.
you can control shift then plus sign. If you it's like they it's like they don't see
Are
the
you
VS
able to
code.
see it now?
Let me confirm a bit. Yeah, I think it's now some visible. Even the browser you can just zoom it as well for them to see the outcome.
In the browser here.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me open this with live server so you can see it. Open with the live server. Are they able to see it now?
Yeah,
Is the
is
text
now
visible?
clear. Yeah, it's now clear.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I was talking about how we can write our CSS commands within our HTML page. And first of all, I'm going to introduce you to this actual CSS style. Here we use the style tags within our head section, just below the title. Now you can have there the style there, and to write a CSS command there, you can just target the body. Just target the body. Let me demonstrate for you, and you can say background color to be blue, and that way your CSS style will have applied. Now you can see the body of our web page is now blue with background color. That is one of the ways which you can write your CSS style. Another way is using the inline. Here you go just immediately after your opening tag, you just say style there, and you just write your style. You can say background color to be, let us give it off red. Yeah, within the quotes. Yeah,
Yes.
hello there.
Yeah,
This
we are good.
yeah, you can give the text their color. You first use the word style. Yeah, say color to be white, and that should apply. You can see our text now has a color of white. That is another way in which you can write your CSS within the inline of your HTML. Let me show you the full screen. I guess some of you are not able to see it well. I guess now you can see it. Because I've zoomed, maybe the width of my screen is not fully visible, but I can see, you can now see it. Now, the place where I'm moving here, now this one is called inline style. The one which is up here, which I've given background color to be blue, that one is called actual CSS style. There's another way in which you can write your CSS file, and that one I'll be telling, that one is called separate CSS file. Here, you take your CSS, you want to create a CSS file with an extension of .css in a folder somewhere and link it to your document where you want to use it. As you know, the browser interprets our code just from top to the bottom, and that it goes on, it interprets the file and apply the styles to the required tags. How can we do that? Now I'm just going to remove this style here, and to do that, you link it. You say link style.css, and href is where you place the directory to the file where your styles exist. Now, let me create a file somewhere here within my styles here. Yeah, CSS folder there. Let me create a file called style. Yeah, let me give it the name of basics.css. You can see there, I have this file here, and I can say body, background color to be, let me give it big, something which is somehow ambiguous. You can see it there. Yeah, now to link this file to your HTML, you go and here you put the directory to where the file exists. You see, personally, I have it in the directory called, uh, there it is in the assets folder named styles. Yeah, styles. And here there is a folder named CSS, and it is called basics.css. And if you go to our browser, you can see now our body has the background color of B as we specified here. Bisque, it's called Bisque. Let me put it a familiar color, like something like green. You can see the background is changing there. Yeah, let me expand the width here. You can see everything as the changes take place. I guess you can see the whole screen. Yeah, those are ways in which. Is it visible? I want to ensure you people are able to see everything.
Yeah, we can see it visible. Maybe that
Yeah,
you can just close that Explorer. In case you are not in need of it, you can just close it.
yeah.
Explorer.
So those are the basics of HTML, and there you have learned how you can write your CSS codes. Now we have the inline there. You have the link there. I taught you about the actual CSS which we are using style tag. There you can say you can target, let's say, div. Yeah, those are the ways where you can write your CSS commands. Yeah, within the style, you can link it, you can write it within the inline part of your document. Now, those are the basics. Now I'm going to go to the next part. Here we are going to talk about HTML selectors. Let me create another file here called the selector.html. Now you can see I can open the file there with my Visual Studio Code. There you can see I have my selector. Let me give it a title selector, and I can open it with the live server. I want you people to be able to see the results as we edit in real time. Open with the live server. Those who don't have this live server extension, every time you edit your document using Visual Studio Code, you'll have to go to the location where you have saved it, and every time you have edited it, you go and click on refresh. For example, this basic here, every time you go and click on this icon here, which is refresh. You refresh your document every time now and then. But me personally, I have this extension called live server, which will enable me to edit my documents as they refresh in real time. Now we are going to talk about CSS selectors. Now, selectors enable us to target our containers as we style them. You see, let me introduce you to some of the few selectors which we have. Let me say I have my div container here with, let me give it a text here, hello world. And I have another div container, let me say order list with the list items. Yeah, let me say I have a list items there. Let me name it item 1, item 2, item E. Yeah, should be able to see the changes. I had it open here in, let me refresh here. You can say hello world, item 1, item 2, item 3. Yeah, I had this live server here where we can see the changes in real time. Now you can see I have the text there, hello world, with the order list with list item 1, 2, 3. Now we are going to talk about the selector. And first of all, I'm going to introduce you to what is called universal selector. Now we are going to write our CSS styles in a separate folder and link them. Let me create another in this folder. Let me create another file called selectors.css. And in our selector.html, we can link it there within the title section here. Let us link it here. Say link CSS href is equal to style sheet. Then here we specify the directory where it is stored. I have it there in my assets, and there is styles CSS, and it is called selectors.css. Now, as we edit the selector.css file, we should be able to see the changes in real time. First of all, I'm going to introduce you to universal selector. Here we use the asterisk like this. This one select all the elements within our document. Let's say the universal selector asterisk, and let us give all the elements there a color of blue. We should see all our elements there having the color of blue. As you can see there, all our elements have the color of blue. Now say let them have a background color of, let's give it some thing which is blue violet, like that. Now you can see all the elements there have background color of blue violet. That way we have used what is called universal selector. Here we use the asterisk to select the items. Yeah. Now next, I'm going to introduce you to type selector. Type selector, we target, for example, let me tell you to selector.html. We target the container. Let me say here we have the div. You can just copy that div and go to selector. You target that div, use opening and closing curly bracket after that. This will select all elements with the div container as their style. So you can say all the div should have a color of yellow. I'm using some some crazy color so that you're able to see the changes. As you can see, the div there with the text hello world has changed the color to be yellow. You can say have color of green. Yeah, it's a green. Can see now it has a color of green. That one is called type selector. Now I'm going to introduce you to what is called class selector. This is very important. Take note here. In class selector, we go to our container and give them a class name. For example, we have our div with the text hello world. Let us give it a class name of hello. Now you can copy the class name. Okay, you can copy the class name, and to use class selector, you use a period followed by the class name, which is hello. Now let's give them a color of black. And in real time, you should be able to see our div with the class name hello having color of black. Now let us just give another class selector, use class selector here in our list. Let's give this order list a class name of ordered list. I hope you are able to see me. Okay. Now we have our order list as class, use a period followed by the class name, and let us say let them all have a font size of let's say 30 pixels. And if you do that, you should see the font size of all our order lists are changed to be 30 pixels, much bigger than that one is called class selector. Now let me introduce you. We should be able to document our code. Now here I'm going to introduce to what is called comments. Yeah, to use comments in CSS, you use /. followed by asterisk and say this is a comment. This is a comment, and you close it asterisk followed by /. And as you know, comments are not being interpreted when the code is being executed. And as you can see, now that one is a simple comment. You can comment here saying this is a class of ordered list. Now, anyone who is coming to read our file here is able to see and interpret the code as they go through it without any confusion. Now, I'm going to introduce you to another selector, which is called ID selector. Now, in ID selector, we have our items. We give them an ID name. Let me create a div here. Div. Let me give it an ID. Let's give it an ID, say container. Let's give an ID called container. You use the word ID followed by equal sign and double quote here in close. You give them ID name. Let's say container. Let's say this our container has random text in it. Visual Studio Code allow us to generate random text. Just say Lore, and press enter there. You have our random text. Now you can see we have the random text here appearing here. You can see the random text there, and with the ID called container. Let me copy the ID, and to style using ID, you use the hashtag. Let's say hashtag. Let me comment there. This is an ID selector. You use hashtag followed by ID name. This select item with the ID called container. As we gave that one ID called container, now it will be selected, and you can edit it in real time there and see. Let's give it a background. Let me give it a color of something like brown. I want us to see the changes in real time, and you can now see our container, which is div with the ID container, has now its color to be brown. That is ID selector. Something is unique about ID selector. In ID selector, you can only have one ID for a container. You can't have a different ID with a different container with the same ID name. That one is not recommendable. That's why in real life, we don't encourage the use of ID selector in CSS, and we highly encourage the use of class selector. Yeah, that way you have been able to learn about the selector. Now let me introduce you to what is called the space selector. Space selector, let me say selector here, we have our order list. Order list is our container with children in it, which are called list. You can target order list. Let's copy that order list. Let's target those order list and say list. This will select, that is called space select. It will select all the list within our order list and style them. Now say order list, let them give them something like something unique, like font size. Let's give a font size. Font size of maybe 40 pixels. Now this one will enable us to style all our list within our order list and give them font size of 40. You can see now the font size is bigger, 40 pixels, very big. Yeah, that one is called space selector. Now that one is called space selector. I'm going to introduce to another one which is called direct child selector. Direct child selector, here we select an item within a container, which let's say we have a container, div container with a class. Let's say container div. Let's say it has some children in it, which is a div within a div with random text. Let's say it has got, let's say h1, let's say a h2 tag there with some, let's say this is a h2. Let's see them how they appear in our browser. This is a h2. You can see there. Now, to use direct child selector, you can copy the class. This is the class. And as we told you, to select class, you use the period followed by class name. And to use direct child selector, you use the greater than followed by the child which you want to select, h1. We had h1 within our div, and let us style it. Let's say color of, let's say something which we can see the change, something like, yeah, RGB. Those who know about RGB 255, 255, or 255. You can see if we go to our browser, the H1, H2, it is not H1, it's an H2, will have that color. It disappear because it matches with that of our browser. Let's give it a color of red. You can see, yeah, that one is called direct child selector. And you can also target this by saying this one here. You can use direct child selector to select the container, live within that container, and let's say font size of, yeah, let's give it a font size of 10 pixels. You can see it is now much smaller, 10 pixel, very small font size. I'll be looking through your questions, yeah, later on. Now let's concentrate on this. I know some of you have some good questions there. We are going to go through them all at
Just
once.
yeah, just a minute.
Yes,
Actually, questions so far I don't see any question here, but I can see they are asking this very nice. This is a good move. I can see Madam Teresa have asked a question there, and actually she has been answered. Okay, this is very perfect. So I can see most of the questions which have been asked here, they are being
yes,
answered by just the colleagues. So the one which is
yes,
burning, that is, I think that is the one which will just take over. This is a very good move. Yeah.
yes. Yeah, that is all about selector, and I've introduced you to majority of the selector, direct child. Yeah, now let me go to the next, which is number 3. Let me have a look at the list. We are going, the third one is positioning. Yeah, we are going to positioning. Now in positioning, let me come here and create a file within our pages. Let me name it positioning, positioning.html. Yeah, it is an HTML file with HTML extension. Let's give it a title there called positioning. Yeah, positioning. Yeah, now here we can link, we can go there and create a CSS for our positioning. Let's name it positioning.css and link it to our positioning file so that it can be interpreted. Yeah, link it there. Link it there. It is there in our asset folder with the styles, CSS, let's say positioning.css. Yeah, now in positioning, let me take you through this. I want to open this in with the live server. Let me say I have our section. You are taught about this tag with the class name section. Now this section has a div there with, let's say, first container with the random text with random text there. So you know, Visual Studio Code allows us to generate random text. Now we can open it with the live server and see the changes as we edit them. Now you can see our texts are there and we have our div. Now we can target our section and say to the positioning, let's target the class named section. Now in positioning, I'm going to introduce you with to what is called position static. What is position static? By default, our text and every element we put in our web page are placed one after other in a normal flow. They flow one after other. Let me say in our positioning here, I introduce another container here, another container, maybe section there with a paragraph there with the random text. If you see in our browser here, the paragraph is added just immediately after our section above there. Now that one is the normal flow. That is called position static. Position static, yeah? Position static. And you can target session and say position to be static. That's the default position, and you can see there's no change. There's no change. I'm going to introduce you to what is called, let me comment here. Let's say this is position static. Yeah, this is position static. Position static, the normal flow of the web page, position static. Now, this next, which I'm going to introduce you to, is called position relative. Position relative, by default, our items are placed one after another. But let's say we have a container. Let me create a container div here. Let me create a container. Let me say, yeah, let me create an ordered list with a list item, with 3 list item, with this is item 1, this is item 2, this is item 3. Now I can target, let me give it a class name, ordered list. Yeah, you can give it, yeah, like we can give this other item a class name of item 1. Yeah, we can target our ordered list. That is positioning. You can target our ordered list and say position. It is position. Let me say I'm going to introduce you to position relative. Yeah, position relative. What does this mean? Let us see in our browser. As you can see, our list and items are ordered. This is item 1, this is item 3. Position relative, just like position static, they work the same in that position relative allow us, the difference that position relative allow us to relate it in a position within that, which means we can drag it to the left, to the right by saying how much space do we want it to have from left, from right. I mean, let's say, maybe left, it should have a space of 400 pixels. And you can see, if you look at our browser, the items are 400 pixels from left. That is the advantage of position relative over position static. You can say, let me maybe say 30 pixels, maybe 40 pixels. You can say right, maybe same, maybe 40 pixels. Let's give it a background color so that we can see it, blue. Now you can see the our list item with background color. It is placed 40 pixels from left, 40 pixels from right in reality. And maybe if allow you to, you can inspect at a developer, you right click and go to inspect. Inspect there, and you can see, go to there, you can select there and view. You can have a look at it. You can see it is positioned 40 pixels from left. 40 pixels from left. You can see there's a space there. That one is called position relative. Now I want to introduce you to next positioning. That is CSS positioning. Let me introduce you to position static. Yeah, let me create in our HTML document. Let me create a section. Let's give me a class name of position fixed. Yeah, let's say it has a h1 there, h1. This is h1. Yeah, let's say so as a paragraph of random ones there. Can generate random one there. Yeah. Now we can target it here. Let's target it. Go to positioning. Use period followed by that and say position static. Position static. What does this mean? It is fixed. Position fixed. Position fixed. I was introducing you to position fixed. Yeah. Let's have a look at it in our folder. You can see the items here. This is H1. Yeah. Let me minimize a little bit. Hope it's now much more visible. This is H1. Yeah. Now position static allows the elements to be positioned in such a way that they are position fixed. I'm talking about position fixed. They are fixed at a point within our screen. You see, when you scroll the screen, the items are not moved. Yeah, you can, let's give this our body. Let's say we have our body. Let's give it a height. Yeah, positioning. Let us target the body. Let's say height of 300 view height. Now we should be able to scroll through the body. Now, as we scroll, you see the items are not moving. That is called position static. The items are not moving. This is H1. They are not scrolling. Let me add some random item just below it. So some random letters below it so that we can see the real thing in real time. Yeah, let's add some random text there. Let's can just copy this order list and have a copy of it there. Now let's have a look at it. Yeah, let's try scrolling. Yeah, the items are scrolling, but the section with the position static is not moving. Yeah, now that is called position static. That is called position static. Let me comment it out. Yeah, it's called position fixed, as in, yeah, let me comment it out so we can go to the next. That is called position static. Now in position static, yeah, this is very fun. Position static is very useful, especially if you want to design headers and footers using CSS. Yeah, you know, if you have a document, you have the section called header, footer section. You know, yeah, let's say we have a footer with the class name footer. Yeah, class name footer. Yeah, let's say it has got some order list, with the list, some 5 list items there. Let me put so you are able to see footer order list with this item. Yeah, let us edit the items. Let's put some random text there. No. All right, let's generate some random text there in our footer section. Yeah. Now we can have a look at it in our browser. Yeah, you can see down here we have our footer. Let me give it a background color so that we are able to distinguish it from other item. Go to the positioning. Let's add here for our footer. Let's give it a background color of maybe aqua. Let's give it a color of yeah. We can also generate this color, so we can have a look at it. You can see this is our footer section, yeah, with items there. Now we are going to learn about position. I was talking about position sticky, yeah. I guess I was talking about position sticky in designing our footer and header. Position sticky enables the item to stick at a point when a certain way height is reached. Now we can target our footer and give it a position sticky. Now you can have a look. There is no change. There's no change. You can scroll. There's no change about the position, but we can achieve this by telling our browser where do we want it to stick, from top, from bottom, where do we want it to stick. Now you can say top when it reaches the top of 0. Now this means we can have our screen scrolling. The moment it reaches at the top, the item stick there. Let me add other item just below the footer so that we can see the difference. Yeah, let me have these items. Now it sticks to, can see the difference. Now it just moves, it sticks to the top, the other times move. That is called position sticky. It's good for designing our headers and footer, which means your header can scroll down with all other items. When you scroll up, you see it stops scrolling. Yeah, that is called position sticky. Now, another important positioning, which I'm going to introduce you to, let me comment out this footer. Yeah, it is recommended. Footer is always the last. Yeah, don't put your footer within your document. Footer is expected to be at the last part. Yeah. Let me just comment it out. It should be the last part. Yeah, header should be there. So you learned about that the other week. Yeah. Now I'm going to introduce to another one, which is called position absolute. We have talked about position relative, position sticky, position static. Now I'm going to introduce to position as absolute. Yeah, let me create a div with the class name position absolute. Yeah, with a paragraph there of random words. Yeah, and let me create maybe task got a h2 heading 2 with let me just copy paste this part of words so that we can have them there. Yeah, position absolute. Now you can target it with the class name and give it position absolute. How does this apply? It enables us to put our items top, left, right, or bottom of our web page. Yeah, maybe you have some button somewhere in your web page. Let me give it a background color so that we can distinguish it from other yeah, with the color of green. We want something which is much more visible because we want to see the difference. Yeah, here we are not the designers. You see, the designers have already come up with the design. Now we want to develop it. Yeah, we just to learn development, you just need to use this ambiguous color so that you are able to see the difference in real time. Yeah. Now we have this our background color red, color green. We want to give it a position of absolute. Yeah. As I've said, it enables us to say how which distance from top. Let me give it a width. Let me give it a width of 300 pixels. Yeah, so that we are able to see it. It has got a width of 300 pixels. Now we can position it right, left, top, bottom. Yeah, using position absolute. Yeah. Now we can say top, top of 2 pixels. Now you can see our item has moved to the top. Yeah, it was here as far as it was down somewhere here. Now it has moved to the top, 0 pixels to the top. Yeah, that position absolute enables us to put our items at a fixed at a position which is defined by the screen. Yeah, you can say top of 2 pixels. As I said, maybe it goes to the right of 1 pixel. That means our item will be pushed to the right here. Yeah, yeah. Let us try that and see the difference. You can say let's say right, right of 2 pixels. Yeah. Now you can have a look at this. The item is now right 2 pixels, top 0 pixels. Yeah, that is called position absolute. Position absolute. Now there's a combination of position absolute and position relative. Yeah. Position absolute, okay, inside position relative, which means we can put an item at a position within our container by defining top, left, right, and bottom. Yeah, to demonstrate that, let's go here and have a container with our image. Yeah, just down here, say, let's say position, say position relative image container. Yeah, and inside there we can have our image. We can link this to our assets there. I add an image here which I'm going to use. Let me use this my image here, and if you open the browser, you can see we have that image. Let me scroll down. You can see there the image is there. Yeah. Now to do that, let's give it a class name. Yeah, as you were taught last week, you get your name. This is weekly attribute alternative test. This is weekly. Yeah, let's give it a class name of weekly image. Yeah, there are rules which you should apply when naming your classes. Yeah, you can't start the class name with a number. You know, it's not recommendable. There are rules which you have to follow. Yeah, you should also consider that. Now we have our photo position relative there. Yeah, you can have, let me say, I have another container. Yeah, not exactly a container, but let me say here, let's say I have a button. Yeah, say, let me say click. Yeah, let me give it a class name of click. Let me copy this class so that we are able to target them in our CSS. Yeah, let us have that one there. We should be able to target them and style them. Let me go and target another one. I give this class name of weekly image. Yeah, let's give it, target it here. Yeah, let's go and have the button with class name click. Let me target it here so that we are able to style them all at once. Yeah. Yeah, I hope you are in touch. I'll look at your questions. Yeah. So I have a container with position relative with an image inside it with a click button. You can see the click button here in the browser. Let me show you the click button. Where is it? Yeah, you can see the button there. It's click. yeah, which is not yet active. Now we want to use the combination of position relative and position absolute to ensure that our button is placed, yeah, is placed at a point somewhere here in our image. Yeah, we want to have our button placed here, somewhere here. Yeah, 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 that one is applicable. Maybe if you go to YouTube, yeah, should I show you in real time? Let me just open a tab here and I click YouTube. As it loads, I just take you back. uh, you will see how that styling is used. Yeah, so far let's go and say our container to have a position of relative. Yeah, and our click button to have position of absolute. Now we can define the width and height of our container. Maybe say width of 400 pixels, maybe height. Let's give it a height of maybe 300 pixels. Now you can say our image, for it to be more responsive, let's say it covers a width of 100% of the container, and let's say it covers a height of 100% of the container which is placed. Yeah, let's give this. There's another property called object fit cover, so that our image doesn't overlap. Yeah, now you can see the browser. Let's say now this is our image. Yeah, it has covered the width and height which I've defined, but this click button which is has overflowed. Yeah, yeah, let's give this a background color so that we can be able to see this in real time. Let's give background color of aqua. Yeah, aqua. You can have a look at it. Yeah, it is just behind the image. Yeah, because the image has covered the whole container, you are not able to see that one. Now the position absolute inside position relative, we can say how left, top, right is it to be positioned within that container. We can say top of maybe 1 pixels, right of 1 pixels. Yeah, and specify 0011. Now you can see the click button is now placed here. Yeah, those are ways which you can play with the positioning and get our result. Let's say you want this click button to be placed somewhere here. Here it is left 0, bottom, see, 0. Yeah, let's give it left 0, bottom 0. Say left 0, bottom, maybe bottom 0. You just play around with the styles there. You can see now it is the click button is somewhere here. Yeah, yeah, that is how you can use position relative and position absolute in styling. I was loading YouTube here. You can see if you are able to see this window, you can have a look here. You can see the buttons here which is saying the time. They're placed somewhere at the corner here. Yeah? The style there can be used to achieve that. Yeah, position absolute and position relative can be used to achieve that. Yeah, now that one you have learned about positioning. Which positioning have I talked about? Yeah, I've talked about absolute. Yes, yeah, yeah. Those are some of the major positioning styles which we are going to talk about today. Now you should go to the next, which is box model. Fantastic. Here you will really enjoy. Let's go to the box model. Yeah. What's the time? Yeah, time is running a bit fast. Let's say box model, box dot, say box model dot HTML. Yeah, say box model. Let's have a title of box model, and here in the CSS, let's create another file. Say box model dot CSS. Yeah, you can link it here so that we are able to style it. Yeah, link, say box model in the style folder, CSS box model .css. Yeah. Now let's say box model. In reality, when we look at web pages, the items are placed in rows and columns. Those who have done web design, yeah, you are always encouraged that you have to put your place in the same rows, same column. Yeah. No, in real life, items are placed in rows and columns. Even if you have a look at this YouTube, rows, columns, everything looks like a box. Everything looks like a box. Yeah, box. A random web page, google.com. Yeah, everything looks like a box. Yeah, everything looks like a box. Let me top up my bundles. Hope you have not lost internet connection. Hello.
Yes, hello, Wiki.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you
Yeah.
correctly. And just allow me to say something here.
Yes.
Is that I've just released the attendance link. So for those of you who have probably let me give it 10 minutes. Yeah, you can sign up within 10 minutes, and the
Hmm.
form will just close automatically after 10 minutes. So it's perfectly.
Let me
So
try
far,
signing up. You can look
no,
at
no,
the questions as I
you
sign
can
up.
just, yeah, you can just proceed. You don't sign up. You don't sign up. You can just proceed, and
Okay.
yeah, you can just proceed
Okay,
with the class.
we'll
Like you can
proceed.
ask. Yeah,
We'll proceed. Okay,
you
we'll
can
proceed
just
with
proceed.
box model. Box model. And as I've told you, everything you have a look at is placed in a box in our page. Yeah. Now let's say we have a container deal with class name container with a paragraph of random text. Yeah. Yeah. Now we can target it model.css where we are going to style our boxes. Let's say body. Let's say body to have a padding of 0, margin of 0. Yeah. Let's give it a font size. So font size of maybe 30 pixels. Now we can target our class there, which is this one there, container. Now we are talking about box model. Let's give it a height of 300 pixels. Say width of 300 pixels. Now let's view it. Go to boxmodel.html. Let's see, have a look at it in the browser. Have a look at it in the browser. Yeah. Now this is our container with width and height, which I've already defined. Yeah, let me remove some text and a little bit too much text there. Yeah, we can just remove some text. I want us to ensure that we visualize these things in real time. Yeah. Now, box model. Let's have a look at our container. Where is the container dot box model.css? Yeah. Let's give it a background color of, yeah, aqua with the color of black. Yeah. Now, box model, I'm going to talk about three basic things. I'm going to talk about margin. I'm going to talk about margin. Yeah. I'm going to talk about margin outside. I'm going to talk about padding inside. I'm going to talk about border. Yeah. Those are three things you have to consider in box model. Yeah. I've said I'm going to talk about margin. Yeah. Let's say margin, and we can define it in pixels, in rem, what now. as for now, I'm going to use pixels. Yeah, this is the unit of measurement, as you know, in computing. Yeah, let's give it a margin of maybe 20 pixels. Yeah, now this means outside this box, outside there's a margin of 20 pixels. You see, it is placed 20 pixels from left, as you see, and this apply all round. This applies all round, outside. Now that is margin. Let's talk about padding. Yeah,
Okay. Uh-huh. That's
let's
very
get a padding
nice.
of,
Just before you talk about the margin,
yes.
the padding,
Mm.
someone is just asking that that he is not in the position to get the message which I think the message which I've just conveyed. Okay, let me just repeat myself. I'm saying that the attendance sheet is there for you for 10 minutes. You can just fill up the attendance form, and then you sign it up. Okay, someone also is talking about the. Okay, the chat is disabled. Okay, let me rectify that. Okay, you can just proceed as I rectify this. Refresh
Yes,
the chat.
yes. Margin the space outside, padding the space inside. Yeah, yeah. That's margin and padding. I was to talk about margin, padding, and border. Now border property defines the border. You can say how large is the border. Let's say 3 pixels, and maybe it will be solid black. Now this means if you have a look at this, our item now has a border of 3 pixels, which is solid black. You can you can reduce it. You can see what will happen of 1 pixel. The border is now much smaller, much smaller. That is border. Now to view this, you can go to the develop tools. You can inspect, yeah, box model. You can inspect there and have a look at this. Let me expand here. Yeah, go to layout. Yeah, computed layout. You can see now that one has a padding space inside padding. Let me select it here. You are able to see padding. Padding is that space inside there. Margin is the space outside. Margin space outside there. Now border is what is defined inside here. That is border. Those are the three things which you have to consider in box model. Everything you see is viewed at box model. Yeah. Now I can introduce you to what margin, padding, border. I think that part is well addressed. You can now distinguish between margin, padding, and border. Yeah, that's good. That is all about box model. And now going to specificity. Yeah, specificity specifies which style has higher priority over the other. Yeah. Now specificity. Personally, I'm going to talk about. Let me ensure that I don't leave something behind. Yeah, I have my notes here. I'm going to talk about specificity. Specificity. I want to ensure I talked about everything here so that you people are able to. Yeah, let me create a file called the specificity.css. Now let me go to the pages. Specificity.html. Yeah. Now we can have there what is called a container class. Yeah, it's container. Maybe let's give it an ID of container items. Yeah, yeah. Now specificity, which I talked about selector. Now, which selector is being given priority over the others? Yeah, which CSS selector is being given priority over the others? Yeah, we can link it out here. Now here, I'm going to tell you which selectors are given priority over the others. First of all, I'm going to talk about the ID selector, inline selector, yeah, and class selector, and also tag selector, yeah, which I talked about before. Specificity.css, yeah. Go to specificity.css. Now, the container there is the class selector. You can give it a background color of red. Let me minimize so we are able to see the specificity. Let me open it with live server so that you people are able to see it. Now you can see specificity.html. We have this ID, which is container. Let me copy the ID there. Yeah. Go to the specificity.css. Now we have the ID. I said the ID, we start with the hashtag to target it. Now ID has higher specificity over the class, yeah? Now the order is this. The inline style has much higher specificity, followed by the ID, followed by the class and the tag, yeah? Now, if we say background color of yellow, something ambiguous yellow, you can see a bool. Let's have a look at a container. Yeah, it is container items. Now the background color changes to yellow because ID has higher priority, higher specificity than class. Yeah. What about if you use the inline style? Yeah, you can go to the specificity here and say using the inline style. Yeah, let's give it a style. Yeah, style is equal to, yeah, background color of maybe blue. Background color of blue. Background color of blue. The inline style has higher specificity than the ID, and okay, the order is inline style followed by ID, the class, and the tag. Yeah. Which means if you have a tag here, let me target it with the tag. The tag here is div. Yeah. And target it with the tag specificity.css. You can say the tag there has maybe background color of blue. So every div in the container should have a background color of blue. Let me add another div here. Maybe a div with random text. You can see now it has a background color of blue because it has the tag selector there has much higher specificity. Yeah. Now the order is the tag selector followed by the class selector followed by the ID selector and the inline style selector. That's the order of specificity. Yeah. Let me comment here. Order of specificity. Let's say now it all start with inline style followed by ID selector followed by class selector, followed by tag selector. That is the order of specificity. Now we are going to the next thing, which is media queries. Media queries, media.html, media queries. Now let me create another CSS called media.css. You can link it to the media.html, media.html. Say media queries. You'll have their title media queries. Now here I'll have a div, say container, with a paragraph of random text. Now on top of this media queries here, I'm going to link the CSS style there. I'm going to link the CSS style there. Link CSS style. CSS, same media. Now inside our media.html, we have the class called container. Let's go to media.css and start styling it. You can target it there and say, let's see height of 100 view height, width of 100 per, maybe say 80%, maybe 80%. Now you can have media there. Let's open it with the live server. I'm trying to be a little bit faster, so that we are able to have a, you can see now, this is our text with the width and height there. Now media queries allows us to style the items based on the screen sizes. We have your phone, your laptop, you have that small iPad, that is, all those devices have different width and height, and media queries allow us to style allow us to style our pages based on those items. Maybe if you have a look at this item here, if you expand it at a certain point, let's say all the body, let it have a font size of 50 pixels. You can see the font is much bigger. It is not fitting that screen. Now media query allow us to style it based on the screen size. You can say use at media style. You say we have maximum width of maybe 500 pixels. Now when the screen reaches a maximum width of 500 pixels, the style should apply, the style that come inside here. Let's target the container. Let's leave the height and width there, and just say let the font size remain reduced to maybe 20 pixels. So if you have a look at this, as we expand, the font size now is 20 pixels. If it goes past 500 pixels, the font size become just the normal one. That is the use of media query. Now as a developer, you can inspect to have a check at your screen size. You can go to inspect there, go to the responsiveness. Now if you expand here, you should be able to see the font, the width up there as it changes in real time. That will enable you to style it. The media queries, we have that one for screen size. There's another one. Which part of media query should I introduce you to? We have the print. What should happen when you print? When you print, what should happen? You can also use that media query, maybe at media print. print. Yeah, you can say that container. Let's let it have a color of blue. Now, when you print the document, the color of the item should be blue. That is what it means. Yeah. Yeah. Now, when you print, the color of the item should be blue. Yeah, that is what media print means. The color should be blue. Now there's another media query for orientation, width, large. We have to look at all those. Yeah, we are going to go to the next because you have limited time. Let's just be much faster. I don't want to leave very important things behind. I'm going to talk about best practices. Instead of using font sizes, use what is called rem. Rem means one rem is always 16 pixels. The font size of our page is 15 pixels. When you say the font size to be one rem, let me say our container here, those are some of the best practices you should know. Yeah, font size to be 3 rem, which means one rem is for 16 pixels. What about 3 rem? 3 rem should be 16 pixels by 3. Yeah, 16 pixels by 3. I'm trying to use a smaller value so we are able to see the difference. You can see font size to be 1 rem. Yeah, those are some of the best practices. Width and height, you should define them in terms of percentages. That is font size of 1 rem. You should define the width and height in terms of percentages. Yeah. For example, the place where we had our image, it was inside a container with a defined width and height or in pixels, but our image had to occupy a width and height of 100% of the container. Those are some of the best practices you should adapt. Yeah. One EM, which means the item inside a container will have to take a font which is proportional to the parent. Yeah. Yeah. So EM is also used there, but it's not highly recommended. You are highly recommended to use REM. Yeah. And if you now do much more research, you will come to use what is called aspect ratio. Maybe width and height of a image should be aspect ratio. There's this aspect ratio property. Aspect ratio maybe maybe 4/2, which means width and height should grow in the ratio of 4/2. Yeah. Instead of saying should you have a width and height of this, you use higher aspect ratio. Let me, yeah, those are some of the best practices you should adapt. Now, very important, what is the time? 12:09. I'm going to talk about Flexbox. Flexbox, here you should be very attentive. Flexbox.html. Now let's give it there a Flexbox. Now Flexbox, let's have here our container flex with class name Flexbox container. Yeah, it should have some items there with the children with the class name. Let's say they have 4 of them with class name Flexbox item. Yeah, now we should distinguish them. Let's say this is item 1, this is item 2, this is item 3. Item 3, yeah. Let's also say this one here is item 4. Now you can have a random text inside there. Yeah, you can have random tests inside there. Just trying to be faster. Yeah. Hello, Jack. Yeah.
Hello, hello.
Yes. Hope everything is well.
Yeah, everything is well. It's only that I'm really worried with the attendance sheet because I can only see three people have signed, so I don't know what is the issue.
Check out with them.
Okay.
Now, Flexbox container, we can target the container there and say, let's link the CSS there. Let's say the styles, CSS, flexbox.css. Now you can say, you can target the container and say, display flex. Let's view the Flexbox in our browser. Now the items are arranged in rows and in columns. Yeah, you can see this is the property of display flex. It's very, 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 very enjoyable. You can have a look at the display flex property. Yeah, you can say flex box item. Oh, flex box. Yeah, you can say display flex. You can define flex direction to be row, which means items should expand in row as they are now. That's the flex direction property. Yeah, yeah. Now let me put them aside so that we are able to have a look at this in real time. Flex direction row, you can say flex direction column. The items now arranged in column. Yeah, that is the flex direction column property. Now let's have them to have to be arranged in row. And they are now. Now you can say flexbox. Let's target the item. Yeah. Now you can say let them have a background color of green. Now the items have background color of green. Now there's what's called gap. Gap property allow us to say which space do we want to have in within our Flexbox. They have a gap of 1 rem. You can see now they are spaced of 1 rem in both sides. Yeah. Now there's a property called flex wrap. Flex wrap allows our item to wrap when a certain width is reached. You can see now the items are wrapping. Yeah. Now you can say, let this item have a width of maybe 20%. Now the items there will be occupying a width of 20%. See, now when the width is, when the, let's say, maybe 200 pixels, 100 pixels. Yeah, when the width is reached, the items collapse. You see, the items collapse. Yeah, that is Flexbox. Width of 300 pixels, the items collapse. Now uh, there's what is called align items. Align items, you can say center. You can use the property called justify content, which means along the row, where will the item start flowing from? Maybe flex start, flex end, center. Yeah, yeah. You can say justify contents, align items, align content. You can say align content to be center. With the justify content, align content, and align items property, this can be used to center a div. Yeah, you can see the width of the items are different. But we can solve that by saying align items stretch. Yeah, say align items stretch. Yeah, which means the items take the width which is proportional to all, which means all of them have the same width as the number of items increase. Yeah, that is display flex. You can see the flex property is very, very, very friendly. Yeah, you can see that. Now I'm going to go to grid. Very important. Grid property. Yeah, grid. In pages says let's create a file called grid.html. Yeah, let's say here we have a grid container. Yeah, let's say grid item. Yeah, with we can say we have that one. You can open it with live server, so we are able to see our items in the browser. Now this is grid. Yeah, the items are just taking the normal flow. You can target the grid container. Okay, let's link this to a folder named assets. Let's link it to styles. We have the CSS, say grid.css. Now let's go and create grid.css. Grid.css. Now we can target the class. Yeah, we have the grid file here with our items having the grid container class name. Yeah, now we can go to the grid.css and target it and say give us a display of grid. Yeah, if you have a look at this in the browser, you won't see any change. Yeah, this doesn't bring any change. There's no change yet, but there's a property called grid template columns. This defines how far the items are placed in column. Let's say a fraction of 20%, a column of 20% with another one of 10% of 70%. This will have grid of 3 with 20, 70, 10 column. You can see the item here takes 20%, 70, and nini. Let's give it a row. Let's say row gap. Let's say row gap. Just say row. Row initiate both row gap and column gap. Let's say row of one rem. Yani, I mean gap of 1 rem. You can see the items are now having been spaced with the gap of 1 rem between them, both horizontally and vertically. Yeah, along the row and along the column. Yeah. Now you can say that is display grid property. You can target the items, grid item there. You can say, let's say this grid item here has a background color of green. You can see now the items there have a background color of green. Let's say this one here background color of what? White. Now you can see the columns and the row property there. Now there's another property called FR. Now instead of saying green template column, you just say how much do you want to divide in terms of fraction. You can say 1 FR. You want to take a fraction of 1 FR, a fraction of 2 FR, and a fraction of 3 FR. Now the items are laid in a fraction. Yeah, if you increase the number of items, the item there will flow. Let's go and increase the number of items in our grid.html. You can just copy all of this one and make a duplicate of it. Yeah. Now you can see in our browser, the items are arranged, display grid, the items flow to the next page. Yeah, this is very, 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 very important, especially in designing layout. If you want to position your items, that is grid template column property. There's another property called grid template rows. Yeah, let me just have a copy of this. Yeah, now the items are very, you can scroll, you can see the items flow to the column. Yeah, you can say also the grid. In the grid property, we can also use the property which is called align items stretch. It means the items take the maximum height of the box. Yeah, align content center. The items are centered. Justify content. Maybe just as content flex grid start. Yeah, you just say start. Start. Here we don't use the flex property because it is a grid. Yeah, yeah, those apply. Now, another property of grid which I wanted to talk about is grid template row. Grid template row defines how much row do we want the items to be spaced at a space of 1 fr and 1 fr. Yeah, 1 fr. So when the items flow to the next row, they only take equal space of 1 fr. You can see the space they take is very, very equal. So this grid and flex property are very important in design, and you should learn more about them. Yeah, hope you are getting me everywhere. Hello everyone. Yeah, very important. Grid property, very important. You can go and do much more research on grid. Yeah, and using the box model, padding, margin, you can say let's this have a padding of 1 rem. Yeah, the items there to be having a padding of 2 rem. Yeah, if you use
hizi iko hapo kwa DP.
yes. Hope everything is okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
everything is fine.
Yes. That is display grid. Now we have to go to what is called pseudo-elements and pseudo-classes. Yeah, pseudo-classes and pseudo-elements. Yeah. Now in pseudo-elements, we are going to talk about two things: before and after. Pseudo.css. Now let's say about pseudo.css .html. Let me rename this. Let me rename this to .html. I mean email extension. Let's say this is pseudo. Now let's say we have a container, say pseudo on container. Yeah, with a paragraph with the class name of paragraph with a random no rem. I don't want to add many text. I just want to have few text there so that we can see the property of pseudo elements very well. Open with Livestock server. Yeah, you have that little text there. Now you can link here, link CSS. Now you are able to go to the assets and styles there and go to the CSS and have that the pseudo.css. That's where now we can target our container.
Watu wamesikia kana kuuliza ati hizi nywele zako za wapi?
Yeah. Now paragraph, we can target our paragraph, and as you can see in the browser, you have a paragraph there. Now the paragraph there, you can say this property is called pseudo elements. Let me comment there. me comment that said elements. Now here we are going to talk about before. Before you should have a two before and after. Now before there, which means this defines what content just within the paragraph before the string, that's before the word there, what should be there. Now to make it into a system, you just use the word content first and you say hello. Now if you have a look at our browser, now in our browser here, before there is a word hello which is added. I can remove it here and you can see it doesn't exist. Hello, it is now not there. That's the before pseudo element. Yeah, let's say color of green. Yeah, let's give it a margin outside margin margin of 1 rem. Yeah, now you can see hello word. That is before. Now you can use also the pseudo element that is after. These properties are very important. Yeah, if you are to develop a project now, we could have been using them in real world now. Yeah, you can before, you can give it by default. Now the display there is inline. You can say display block. Now the element takes a block value, you see yellow there. Yeah, now you can have a good view of what is before and after pseudo element. There's also pseudo class. Within pseudo elements, they say pseudo class. Yeah. Have a look at the time. Yeah, I'm really doing well. I'm really doing well. Now pseudo class. Now I'm going to create here. What is called a link. Yeah. Now this is a link which will direct to grid. Yeah, grid.html. Grid.html folder. Now, if you have a look at the folder, let's say a link ahref. Use a ahref link. Yeah, grid. Say grid. Now, if you have a look at our folder, you can say this is a grid. If we click it, we go to the grid section. Yeah, can go back. Yeah, that is a link. Now, the pseudo, let's give it a class name. Yeah, we can also target it by its tag name. Yeah, you can say pseudo class. You say a. It's property called hover. When hover it, what do you want it to happen? A hover. That is pseudo class. Yeah, let it change its color to green. Now, if we have our link here and we hover over it, you see the color changes to green. Yeah, that is pseudo class. A active. Yeah, there's another color gray. If you visit a link and you see when it is active, you have visited it, color changes. Yeah, you can also target all the classes. Maybe you don't want the underline within our links. Yeah, you say text decoration to none. Yeah, now you see our link doesn't have an underline. It is not now, and it is not underlined. These are central classes property. They can also be applied on input. Yeah, you can have, maybe let's say here we have an input. Yeah, let me add an input text. Yeah, with the, let's say maybe placeholder, maybe enter your name, enter your name, and that is an input. Yeah, you can target it and say input focused focused, which means when you focus at the input, let's have a padding of 3 rem. Yeah. Now the moment you come and focus on your input, it has got a very big space inside it. That is how we can use the property of pseudo classes. Hello, Jack. I hope everything is okay. Very well, very well. Yeah. Those are the CSS properties you need to know about pseudo classes and pseudo classes. There are many about these pseudo classes and pseudo elements. These are some of the basics you need to start with as a beginner. And at this level, you are now not a beginner. You are a very proficient and advanced individual who is good in CSS. Yeah, that is pseudo class. Now, I want to talk about animation. Maybe before talking about animation, I want to talk about transition. Yeah. Now, transition property. You change a certain style. Yeah, you can delay how a certain style changes. Yeah, you can say transition color, then you give it time. Which time? 2 seconds. Yeah, maybe is direction. Now, if you have a over at this color, you see the color changes as after 2 seconds. The change is very smooth. It doesn't just change focus. You can say transition, maybe padding. You want to transition the padding. You want to transition the padding of this element when you focus on it, maybe 3 seconds, maybe is. Yeah. Now when you go to the padding, you see what is happening. Yeah. Let me open the browser. Yeah. Now if you focus there, the padding is taking place, but yeah, it is delaying over time. That is the transition property. Yeah. Yeah. Transition property is very important. Very important. Now you can go. I'm going to talk about animation. Animation property enables us to visualize our items. Maybe we can give some movement property. See, when you click an item, it drags to a certain position. You see, yeah, animation. You sense of feeling, sense of, you bring some kind of reality. Yeah. You can target a paragraph there and give it. Now to define animation, you say at keyframes, maybe animate at keyframe followed by animation name, animate color. Yeah, you can change it from 0% to maybe 100%. What happens? Let me say, let it have a color of gray, maybe color of yellow. Yeah, color of yellow. This animation property, you can target this animation name, and to the paragraph you say, you use the word animation followed by animation name, animation followed by animation name. It's called, we have name in animate color. Yeah, animation duration. Yeah, 3 second. Timing function is maybe delay 1 second. Yes. Yeah, let's have a look at this paragraph. You can see what is happening. The color of paragraph is changing over time. Yeah, we can increase the content of that paragraph. Yeah, it is here. Let's add more content in it so that you are able to see what I mean by the animation property. You can see the color changes. Yeah, that is the concept of animation in CSS. Yeah, what's the time? Jack, I guess everything is okay.
Indeed, everything is okay, and I can see you are really moving well. I'm really enjoying the class, even students.
Yes, that is animation property. And if I could have been having more time, I could have taught you more about animation. Maybe let me add some a little bit. Where is that animation? Yeah, it's in here. CSS. Yeah, maybe you can have color here. When the color changes, you want to transform it. You say transform. Maybe translate x and translate x negative 100 degree. Now you see it should go to the left. These things happen. Yeah, you can say transform, rotate, rotate. Yeah, you can do more research on transform property. You can see transform, rotate 20 degrees. You see the item there is rotating. That is animation. Yeah, yeah. And this is continuous. Yeah, you can say the animation time 3 seconds, or you say infinite. Yeah, it is continuous. It's not ending. Yeah, yeah. 1 second is the display. You can see the thing. Yeah, that is the concept of animation. Yeah, yeah. Responsiveness. If we talk about responsiveness, we want to ensure our website, yeah, has same layout in different screens. Yeah, which means some contents are not overlapping, some contents are not within. Yeah, not too small. Yeah, need responsiveness is that you have to decide. You have to consider the units you use in measurement. Don't usually use pixels. Use rem, which means one rem is defined as 16 pixels. Now you can calculate others from the root 16 pixels, and you know how much you should add or deduct. Yeah, in height and width, you have encouraged you to use aspect ratio to in width and height property. Yeah, and there are some property which are very funny, like clip path. Yeah. Now let me just comment this animation here and use the clip path property, and this clip path property, and you see how does it work. You can use it in drawing circles. Yeah, animate color. Now we want to use clip path property in this paragraph. Yeah, say clip path property, and the clip path property, you say maybe, let's say it is a circle. Yeah, maybe of 50%. Now if you use the clip path property, you can see. Yeah, let me give it a background color of maybe, so that we are able to see it. Now the item appears as a circle. Yeah, because we define height and width. Yeah, we are not able to see everything, but it appears as a circle. Maybe I restricted the height of this. Yeah, let's give it a height of. But I guess you are now able to learn about the styles 100V. Yeah, yeah, 59. Guess we have 1 minute left. Now that is the clipart property. You can say circle 50%. Maybe let's say it has something like at. You see the at property 0, 0. You can see what is happening there. You have drawn a semi. It's a quarter. Or which type of circle is this? Yeah. And if you are very keen, there's another property called background image. Yeah, this property we use to put a background image in our, and you can now specify the direction of your image. Yeah, now it was there directed in yeah, I add the assets, what are called assets, and there I have images stroke Wycliffe dot image. Now in our images, you can target there. Yeah, you can target where the image is located. Let me say, yeah. Yeah, you can target there. It is pseudo class, say Wycliffe. This is how we add a background images in our web page using CSS. Now here I highly recommend here you put the path to the image. Yeah, maybe it is not showing there because the path can't be located well, but that is how we add background images to our document. Yes, yeah, yeah. Hello, I guess now the time is up and you have learned much. Jack, 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 Mister. Yes, Jack. The time is up. We had much to do. Now I'll just have to stop here because I really respect your time. Hello, Jack. Hello, Jack. Yes. Hello, Jack.
Hello.
Yes.
Like,
We really had much to do. Still, there's still a lot to do, though the time is up. So we really have to respect their time. You can give them some. Yes.
okay. Oh, someone, can you
Oh,
give the class
there's
some
still
notice?
time. There's still time.
Yeah,
It is three
yeah, we
hours.
still have time, but
Yeah. Yes.
yeah, it was 3 hours.
Yes.
Maybe you can just even add. Maybe you can add something like 15 minutes. I can add 15 minutes to wind up in
Let me
something which
design
is
for them a head
new.
and a footer using the knowledge we have learned today.
Yeah, for just a recap.
Yes, so that they are able to see how we can apply these things. Yeah, everyone, now be attentive. Jack, you have to just give me this time. I want to design a simple header and a footer using the styles we have learned today. Now, keep begin. The header and footer should be responsive, as you all know, which means in all screen, the header and footer should be visible to the user, you see. Yeah, I know, so someone not complaining that I'm not able to see this icon here. Let's create a folder called header.css. And here, a file called header design our style. And in pages, let's design header here. Let's say header.html. Yeah, that's great news. I thought I was really moving fast. I thought we are out of time. Header.
Okay, just like someone is saying there's some of the okay this at James what you are talking about will somehow come to an end like that. So let's just give a time to Mr. Wycliffe to finish up the wind up for today's session in those 15 minutes, and then we'll get to be answered after the instructor have done. Yeah.
Yes, after 15 minutes now I'll be answering the questions. I guess you are keeping track.
Yeah, actually, I'm keeping track on the questions which are really burning here.
Yes, I know I've not answered many questions so far, but now let me design this header. Then I answer the question. Now Jakorara can close the meeting. Yes. Now let me share with you this screen here. We have our document here. Now I'm using the code editor, which I'm using here is this one is Visual Studio Code. Let me expand it a little bit. Hope you are able to see there. This is header, and to design a header, use the header tag. Yeah, let's give it a class name of header. Yeah. Now inside header we have our navigation. Yeah, with class name navigate. Now let's say something like navigate header options. Yeah. Yeah. Now inside here we have our list. Yeah, ordered list. Yeah, with list. Let's say we have four list items. I'll say let this one is home, about. Yeah, maybe you have here services, maybe contact us, contact. Yeah, let's give it a class name of yeah navigation list. Yeah, now you can link the CSS file here. Assets. Now we have our styles where we have CSS folder header.css. Yeah, now we have the navigation header. We can open it with live server and see how the items appear in browser before any styling. Yeah. Now these are the item home, about, services, and contact. Yeah. Now you can start targeting the section which is navigation header options. Yeah. Now let's go to the assets here where we had our styles. Let's start styling the header.css. Now let's view this in real life. Let's have this one. Let's say it has a display of flex. Yeah. Line items center. Align items. Let the items stretch. Align content. Center, and justify content. Center. Background color of gray. So we are able to see. Now you can see. Yes, that is the header. We have placed that style. The items are placed center. The display is flex. Yeah. Now we have to target the list. Yeah. The list items. Yeah. Let's say where did we have the header? This one here, which we named navigation list. Yeah, now let's go to the header section, header.css. Now let us have list style of none. We don't want to see the dot. Yeah, you can see the dots are now appearing, are disappearing. Yeah, let us have a display of flex. Yeah, yeah. Now say align items, stretch, align content, center, justify content, space between. Yeah, space between, so that the items are equally spaced. Yeah, yeah. Let's say it has a width of 100% and a height of 100%. Yeah, you can see the responsiveness. Yeah, let's have a background color of green. Yeah, now we are able to see this in real life. Yeah, you can see now what we have learned today, we are applying them in real life. You can see very responsive. Yeah, now justify content, space between, you can say maybe space around. Yeah, space around, so the items are have equally spaced around. Yeah, yeah, space around instead of space between pushes them to the further end of the box, space around. Yeah, now navigation list, you can target the list themselves. I think we have talked how we can target just immediate. Yeah, yeah. Let's say let's have a width of maximum content. Yeah, it takes a width of the maximum content. Let's see the background color of Alice blue. We want to see, I want us to visualize them. Yeah, you can see the items there, which you are now styling. Yeah, in real life. I think the style is now visible. Yeah. Now let's say it has got a border radius. Yeah, let's give it a border radius of maybe 5 pixels, very smooth border. Yeah, let's say it's just a padding inside space of one rem. Yeah, you can see that is too much. 0.5 and yeah, yeah, let's say there is a space between them. Yeah, we just talk in CSS, we talk and everything happened. Yeah, now these things are not yet linked. We can make them link by saying order list. Let's say make them to be a link. You can make this to be link. Yeah, make this to be a link. You can see home, about. Yeah, they are link now. Home, about. Yeah, maybe contract. Yeah, maybe services. Yeah, now they are linked. Yeah, they should link us to a place. Let's say this one, instead of home, let's say it is Google. This one is taking us to Google. Google. Say Google. HTTPS. Yeah, let's say Google. Should take us to Google. You see, it opens in new tab Google. Yeah, that's how we make link. Now we can target this specifically, but I want to use I want to use what is called tag. I want to target them with the tag. Yeah, yeah, because let's say using the tag selector, you can say all links. Yeah, just say A. You should put it at the top there, but let's say A. We say you shall text decoration of none, which means you want to remove the text under. You can see now, yeah, there is no text under them. Yeah, text transform, text transform to uppercase. Yeah, now they are in uppercase, they are in capital. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's say margin of 2 pixels.
Hello. In I don't. It seems like the internet connection for Wiki is lost somehow. I don't. Just type it there in the chat. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Let me see the reactions from the audience. Okay. Okay, the session was very, 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 very nice today, and I hope we really, really enjoyed. The session was very nice. So, while I was starting, I really told you guys that Wycliffe Boy has been my best instructor so far. Since day one, I've been having the best instructors. These our instructors are the best. Despite that, we are still achieving new ideas in the field of coding as devs. Yeah, we are really making it. Let me just try to answer a question here. Someone talked about the. Can you give the class some motives? The motives to be good coders. Okay. Um, I really planned to have for you guys this kind of sessions that where you will get to be introduced. How, for if you are a beginner, how can you get how can you how can you move with the in this field of coding. uh, and we really encourage the beginners in that beginners face a lot of problems while choosing a programming language to start with. Some programming languages they are so much advanced in that if you expose them to the beginners, it will be very difficult somehow to understand and to understand their syntax. Okay, so according if motive for like let me just brief you how you can master chords. While you have seen that this session we have really used it to discuss CCS. So after this you take your time, maybe probably something like 20 minutes or 25 minutes. You practice yourself about what we have discussed in the class. So if you postpone even after 2 days, then it will be just like you learned nothing from the class, and that one would be good, because we are not only interested in the certificate. We really want that concept which you are getting from the class. In that way, we'll be building our social media app. You are well capable, you are aware of what we are going to discuss in the class. Okay, so it's like our instructor has lost the connection, and also some of some of you are running out of MBs. Um, I would just like to commence a class now, and probably day 4 will be a very nice class. In that day 4, we'll we'll start we'll start JavaScript, the basics of the JavaScript, and you'll really enjoy the way this today's session was very nice. So, Instructor Wycliffe, we are really congratulating you for the nice session. It was something very nice. The session was enjoyable, and indeed, even the students are really appreciating your session was very fine. So you are highly we highly appreciate you for your time and your dedication. So thank you, Wiki, and thank you for the class members. I can't wait to see you again in day 4. So our day 4 will have an instructor. I'll let you know through your email addresses. If you have any question, reach me out through my email address or through the WhatsApp platform. So if you have not subscribed our YouTube channel, subscribe, and also if you are not joined the WhatsApp group, join the WhatsApp group through your email links. So bye everyone.